Forget the official records. Set aside the polished, government-approved textbooks and listen closely. For 1,000 years, my people, the Vexlar Imperium, stood at the top of the galactic food chain, apex predators. We believed our logic was flawless, our dominance inevitable. We built what we thought was the perfect trap for the people of Sol 3, humans. We calculated everything, predicted every outcome. To us, they were chaotic, divided prey, ripe for integration. What we never realized was that while we watched them, they were watching us, quietly, patiently, turning their own world into a cage, one they knew we could never escape. This isn't a tale of conquest. It is the truth of how humanity outsmarted a galactic empire, not with superior weapons, but with terrifying, unimaginable patience. Our grand strategists were the greatest minds the Imperium ever produced. For 3 centuries, they studied Sol 3, and what they found seemed pitiful. A species constantly at war with itself, polluting its skies, fighting over imaginary borders, even turning its own tragedies into entertainment. Humans were clever, yes, but emotional, impulsive, prone to irrational sacrifice. Perfect material for our style of integration. Our strategy was elegant, deceptively simple. We wouldn't arrive with warships, too messy, too crude. We would appear as benevolent explorers, offering shiny gifts, medical cures, basic FTL travel, clean energy. We would gently guide their brightest minds off-world, just beyond their system's edge. And once they were far enough, the trap would spring. Cut their connection to home, install our leadership, let their planet crumble into chaos. Then we would step in as saviors, take their ships, absorb their scientists. By every metric, it was flawless. We sent the first friendly signals, the first crumbs of technology. We believed we were the patient hunters. We had no idea the bait was already looking back. Humans took the bait, or so we thought. For 50 years, they reverse-engineered the basic FTL we gifted them. We watched their awkward little ships explore their system, build stations, settle their moon. Exactly as predicted. Children taking their first steps, guided by our invisible hand. Then, the moment came. Our ascendancy fleet slipped into position, silent, cloaked, unstoppable. The trap was set. High Command waited for the panicked human transmissions. But instead, silence. Total, baffling silence. Maybe, we thought, their technology was too primitive to detect us. Ants unaware of the boot above them. Uneasy but confident, High Command dispatched a wing of our fastest harvesters. The mission, to make a dramatic entrance, shock them, terrify them. It was our first fatal mistake. Those harvesters never reached orbit. On the command bridge, we watched in horror as their formation dissolved into chaos, one ship after another shredded, torn apart by millions of tiny impacts. The analysis was unbelievable. Space around Earth was packed with debris, a swirling storm of screws, shards, metal fragments, each moving at thousands of kilometers per second. A Kessler syndrome, intentionally cultivated. High Command mocked it at first.
The primitives had trapped themselves inside their own orbital garbage. Pathetic, yet now an obstacle. So we changed tactics. Forget high orbit. We would force our way in with breaker-class landers, ships built to survive the harshest atmospheres in the galaxy. The first wave entered Earth's skies. As plasma blinded their sensors, ancient chemical rockets launched from below. Missiles, primitive by our standards, but they were not aimed at where our ships were. They were aimed at where our computers predicted they would be. They struck at the moment our armor was weakest. Out of 20 breakers, only 3 crawled back into space. The bridge fell silent. This wasn't an accident. The debris wasn't junk. It was a shield, a kinetic barrier designed to slow us, funnel us, trap us. The missiles weren't primitive. They were patient. We spent 300 years studying them. Only now did we realize they had been studying us for far longer. Logic crumbled. Pride took over. The Grand Admiral refused to be defeated by primitives. If we couldn't land, we would scorch the planet from orbit. Wasteful, yes, but necessary, he said, to assert Imperium authority. Weapons charged. Then, finally, Earth spoke. A single broadcast. Not a plea, not a surrender. Just one calm voice speaking perfect, flawless Vexlar. To the Vexlar Imperium. We've known about your listening posts for 800 of our years. We reverse-engineered your first probes 5 centuries ago. The technology you gifted us, we already had it. We have watched you. We have studied your logic, your tactics, your arrogance. We knew you would come, and we knew you would do this. The voice continued. Every major city, every fault line, every deep ocean trench on this planet is wired with thermonuclear devices, a dead man's switch. You can take our world, but all you will inherit is a radioactive rock. This was never a defense. This was always a trap. Welcome to the cage. And in that instant, we understood. The debris shield was to keep us in. The missile batteries were to slow us. The dead man's switch was the final wall. We could not land. We could not bombard. We could not retreat. The political shame would destroy the Imperium. Humanity had weaponized our own logic against us, turning victory itself into an impossible outcome. They didn't just trap themselves, they trapped us. So we stayed, not advancing, not retreating. The Ascendancy fleet still drifts in the Sol system, a silent, rusting reminder of the greatest strategic failure in galactic history. A monument, a warning. On modern star charts, the quarantine zone around Sol 3 carries no mention of primitives, no label calling them unstable or dangerous. It bears only one message. Approach with caution. Here lies an empire. If this hidden account of human ingenuity sent chills down your spine, hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories pulled from forbidden archives, and ring the bell so you're notified when the next sealed record is finally unlocked.